That also gives Wade Helliwell his third foul. And when you look down the bench of the Melbourne Tigers, you probably say it's not that big of a deal because they've got that many big guys that they can rotate in. As they take him off, who's 7 foot, and 7'2", Luke Neville comes out onto the pond.
12 points and 6 rebounds already for Julian Khazzouh in this game. It's an impressive start.
Well, safe to say he's outscored all 3 big men for the Tigers. As Matt Burston misses on that one. Upstairs to Taj McCullough for the jam. I'm trying to stay. That's what he's saying right there. Nice little statement. And a nice pass as the Sydney-Kings get that extended pressure going. Corletto sets his feet. 3-point basket rattles in. Kings will slow it down after a nice passage of play from both teams. Grizzard against the zone. McCullough puts it on the floor. Takes the bump. He'll like to get that one to go. Let's check out the pass from Graham Dan.
Great pass. I mean, Taj McCullough was way up there, but good touch pass by Graham Dan. And as you mentioned, Steve, Taj McCullough, he's playing for his job. Half-time in the other game this evening, the Wollongong Hawks 44, the Gold Coast Blaze 42, so a real close one.
Wollongong do a great job. Doesn't matter what their roster is. They do a great job of competing every single night. And the business end of the season, they seem to be there. I think the Gold Coast Blaze have a very good roster. Saw them in the preseason tournament. With the addition of Mark Worthington, that makes them legit. Corletto with the floater. Taj McCullough keeps it alive. Here comes Luke Cooper to Grizzard. Ball's knocked away. No, he loses it out of bounds.
Just lost the handle on that one. And see a substitution. We talk about the tall timber, but now Al Westover goes with his smaller lineup. We see Lucas Walker coming into the game. He's a player that played at the University of St Mary's, along with David Patrick was the assistant coach. Paddy Mills, the NBA star of, well, maybe not star, NBA player with the Portland Trailblazers, or trying to hang on with the Portland Trailblazers.
Devendorf for 3, that rattles out. Taj McCullough comes up with the loose ball. He goes baseline. Boy, Benny Lewis couldn't have done much more than that. Did a good job on that D. Watch him just anticipate that he wants to go to the baseline.
Not quite there, so good call by the official, but then he read it, but Taj just a little bit too quick. One thing you would expect as a given is the Melbourne Tigers would win the boards. They're losing the boards 14-12. That'd be upsetting Al Westover, but their offensive just looks so stagnated, just not gelling. Very terminal, not a lot of motion before they get their scoring opportunities.
Neville with a pull-up jump shot. Maybe not the option they wanted. Still looks a little stagnant. Here comes Luke Cooper. He'll set it up. Mismatch, Rod Grizzard down with Devendorf on his back. Cooper for 3. A little bit short, shot it with confidence.
They're going to give him that shot all night. Oh! We see some of the athleticism with Walker.
Graham Dan clears it out, makes the layup. It wasn't the most confident looking layup, but he is a big, big guard. They play him at the small forward, but people have played him in the guard position before. He's able to clear it out. At the ABA level, he is a prolific scorer.
Off his back. No.
And Grizzard gets his hand in the passing lane.
I wasn't 100% certain.
Billy Mildenall back into the competition.
Billy! Back here. Have we had a timeout yet? Have we had a timeout?
TJ Campbell back into the game for the Tigers. He gets to the lane. His shot is good. Dribble penetration by TJ Campbell. University of Portland star, same conference as St. Mary's. Julian Khazzouh He's been super productive, misses a little sitter after a nice spin move to the baseline. Here come the Tigers with numbers. Upstairs to Neville, not upstairs enough.
You got it, mate, 14.
Foul on TJ Campbell. Here we see get in the middle of the rack, taking it to the rack, to the basket and getting it done. And there's the great defense by Taj.
That's the fourth. Thanks, buddy.
He's not there.
I think you're being very complimentary. Those lob passes are just not high enough. That's about the fourth one we've seen, come up to about half the body of these 7-footers. Some poor passing by the Tigers with Julian Khazzouh gets another good seal on a Melbourne Tigers big man.
I tell you what, there's some great structure out here with the Sydney Kings. Good motion, good patience, and they're identifying their targets down low, and they're getting the ball in there, and Tigers are just drawing foul. And look at Moosh Billiard, first coaching experience in the NBL. Let's see how his hair, colour of his hair is, and his smile on his face come the end of the season.
Well, it's a long, rocky season for any NBL coach, especially last year with the competition being so even. It was just rare for any team to win 3 games in a row.
And you see with a lot of the structure that the Sydney Kings are running, Connor Henry's had a hand in their setup as well. A lot of similarities to some of the things the Perth Wildcats were doing a couple of years ago when he was at the helm.
They've got a nice partnership in a couple of chats with Ian Roberti. Really enjoys spending time with Connor Henry, and they've got a great understanding and really lets him have a lot of hands-on experience as the assistant coach as Luke Neville gets his jump hook to go and cuts the lead back to 10. At 12.
Tigers still only shooting at 34%. And I tell you, they say step off that kid, give him the jump shot.
You can't just give anybody a jump shot that wide open at this level.
Well, I
get the feeling you're going to disagree with me. You can't give him that as Luke Neville jumps about 3 inches and jams it.
Well, the scouting report on Cooper was
you're a big man.
He's a pass first, and look at that. They're just going underneath the screen, and he's making a mockery of that defense. And there's Pops, Mel Hollywood Cooper.
All right, there's the Sydney Kings first biggest fan, Mel Cooper, and we'll see more of him right after the...
Too hard to let him back in the game in the last 2 minutes. Let's go. Give me a hard minute. 3, 2, 1.
Sydney Kings continue to play good basketball, and Luke Cooper, he is going to shoot that shot. They go under his coaching staff, they encourage him to shoot it, and it is a practice 3-point shot. He can make that shot.
And you did right, Steve, at this level of competition, that if you are that wide open, you get that much encouragement to shoot. It can work twofold. We saw it last year with Corey Homicide Williams, and he just didn't have the confidence to shoot it, and that played on his mind. But Cooper, young fella, he's fearless.
Taj McCullough turns down the jumper, trying to get to the rim. Somehow finds Blago Yenev. And he can't get the ball to roll in, but he will go to the foul line. But this is the question mark for the Sydney Kings. Although Blago Yenev is a quality player, they really take a dip in size.
They do. He's got a big body as he presents that target down low, but he provides matchup problems in different areas because he can shoot the 3. Well, he used to be able to shoot the 3, and that's the beauty of this new 3-point line, Steve. You can't have any of those pretend shooters being out there on the 3-point line anymore. You've got to be a legitimate 3-point shooter to be able to knock them down because of that extra distance.
Sounds like the words coming from a legitimate 3-point shooter.
Nothing here. Nothing off the ball.
Not a guy that just practices them enough to knock it down with some regularity. Devendorf, tough shot, pull-up jump shot is short. Falling away. Here comes Luke Cooper again, running the break for Sydney. Kevin White from deep. He might want to get a little closer to the 3-point line. Another one of those players that's encouraged to shoot the 3-point shot as Cam Tragam misses his little running hook shot.
Steve, this is ugly for the Melbourne Tigers. This is ugly basketball on both ends of the floor. No motion in the half court. They're one and done as far as their passing. Get it up and shoot it. And right now, this is probably their best option. Oh, behind the back, and he tucks it in with the one hand, Steve.
Now that's how you get your team rolling.
My goodness.
Walker for the jam.
On the screen.
Looked like he was playing horse out there. Cut the lead down to 13 and gotten the crowd involved. Cooper to Yenev. McCullough for three. It's straight. That rattles out. That'll go back to the Sydney-Kings. We'll get another look at this.
Look at this. Behind the back. Great control upstairs with the one hand. Lucas Walker, and he likes it. Appreciating his own work as well.
That's right. If nobody will, he gives himself the old nod. Sydney trying to plug up the leaky boat. Nice pass down to Graham Dan. He's called for a travel.
Little one, down low, little shuffling with the feet.
Beware of the spin into a shot. Always on dangerous ground. As the Tigers trying to cut into this 13-point lead, give themselves something to work with in the third quarter. Minute to go here. Devendorf with the drive and the score. Tigers getting into the lane, whether through a turnover or a nice dribble penetration from Eric Devendorf. Bryant, pick and pop to Blagoyev for three. Drying up for Sydney outside the three-point line. McCullough.
Foul 31 McCullough.
Here's Devendorf going to the rack. But again, that's a no-pass offense. Just bring it down one-on-one right from the get-go. That play should be on at any time. Our Wester, I think, would prefer just a little bit more motion before they get into those one-on-one situations. He's got some concerns. There's head coach Al Westover. He wants to have a bit of a chat about things.
Timeout!
We've got a timeout. So as I said,
timeout on the floor going to the Melbourne Tigers. You want to chat about probably, Andrew, exactly what you're talking about, that one pass, put it on the floor, try and create.
Well, that's right. There's very little motion. The offense almost unrecognizable. Let's listen to Al.
Eric, you come get it. We got a quick 41. Quick 41. We get it. We don't want to foul. When we get it back, we should have time for one more shot. If there's not much time when we get back, we're thinking breaker. All right? So we got 41. When we get it back, we got a breaker to finish a half. Get it score.